Hey folks, Rob Daniels here from the movie, TV, and video game soundtrack program Visions in Sound. I can be found every Saturday morning, 12 to 2 a.m. on FM 98.5. And if you missed the show, by all means, you can find me on visionsinsound.ca. Now, Galadriel was just here, and she's just stepped down. I didn't bring her here. She came up on her own and that sort of thing, so she's around. She'll be around. In any case, yeah. We are continuing on with some more of the spooky month. And October is going to be an interesting month. I still have one more show, which is this one here, and then 3 more on the 31st that I'm going to put out as well. So, with that in mind, we are going to go way back to 1992 and the dawn of, I won't say the dawn of the survival horror, but a very early look at 3D horror on the PC. And I'm talking about the 1992 Infogrames game Alone in the Dark. When I was in my 20s, which was I was 22 in 92. So when I was back then, it was a creepy game. It had a very creepy premise, and it was, of course, at the time, cutting-edge graphics and cutting-edge technology, because where else did you see in a 3D environment a horror game? And that was there were games that were around at that time, but none as quite, in my opinion, none quite as memorable as Alone in the Dark.
On my door, a dull brass plate says Private Detective. The few friends I have call me Carnby. The others call me the Reptile. I don't care to think what my banker calls me. These days, I leave my letters unopened. Bills and threats to send in the receivers just ruin my day. When an antique dealer called Gloria Allen contacted me, I slipped into my best shirt, holstered my .38, and got to her shop as fast as I could. I was expecting something sordid. Blackmail, probably. Boy, was I wrong. What I was asked to do was visit a property called Derceto and find a piano in the loft.
I actually don't remember where the initial Alone in the Dark came from. I remember playing it. I remember playing 2 and 3, because there were 3 games. But we're going to be talking about the original. Now, the original is creepy, I will admit. Even with its graphics and that sort of thing, it still has that. There is a particular track on here that always gets raises the hair on the back of my neck, we'll say. So, with that in mind, the music here, if you're not used to it, is not like the original. I know the original had this kind of almost a harsh quality to it, whereas if it's run through a Roland, I believe it's a Roland 32 sound mixer or sound card or whatever it is, it lessens the sound, but that doesn't take away from the creepiness of the music. So have a listen. So yeah, a little bit of music from the opening of the of Alone in the Dark, and so the soundtrack came to me in a very interesting way. I go on GOG from time to time, and when you go onto GOG, one of the selling points for me for a game is the soundtrack comes with it. So I bought the 3-pack of Alone in the Dark, Alone in the Dark 2, and Alone in the Dark 3. And all three came with a short, in this case 27 minutes on the Alone in the Dark soundtrack. And again, selling point for me. So the music you're going to hear is, again, from the game, but have a listen. This is some really good stuff, some really creepy kind of approach to things. And of course, that track that always raises and has been kind of implanted in my brain as one of the tracks that I will forever associate with being run down by zombies. I'll just say that. So back in a bit. So there you go. A little short one this week, but still, this is probably one of the without Alone in the Dark, we would never have gotten Resident Evil, we would never have gotten Silent Hill, and a slew of others. Now, there was recently a remake of Alone in the Dark done, but I always seem to kind of lean towards the more classic technology. So with that in mind, if you're interested in any of the film, television, or video game music that I do play on my show, join me every week, 12 to 2 a.m. on FM 98.5. You can also find me on my website, if you miss the show, hey, which does happen, at visionsinsound.ca. By the way, I should have said this, Galadriel is close by, and she always says, "What do you say, hon? Little sweetie?" She's ignoring me. Like, share, and subscribe, and please comment. This is one of those things that I would like to bring up as well. Please comment, because it's important that I know what you want from this show. And this is fun stuff. So like I said, you should be able to find Alone in the Dark. I believe it's still on GOG. I'd have to check. But check it out. It'll either be on Steam or GOG. And it's good for this. It's a great little nostalgic kick if you want to go back and be freaked out by early 90s horror technology games. So folks, I know it's tough out there. So if you are having trouble, please call 911 for immediate help. You can also dial or text 988 for the Suicide Crisis Helpline. You can also try 1-844-HERE-247 and HERE247.ca. They all offer ways of getting help if you or someone you know may be suffering from mental health issues. So folks, get out there and listen to some great scores, fantastic scores, creepy scores, especially around this time of year, because hey, it is creepy month, or it is spooky month. So yeah, we'll have our special Halloween special, which is going to be 3 videos, a movie, a TV show, and a video game. All good stuff. So with that in mind, have yourself a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.